Hey, this is Sam and Chris with Shutter America. We're doing a hinge-mounted panel today. This is a 2.5-inch louver shutter. It's a Spanish cedar frame, Spanish cedar louvers. So we already put the existing hardware on the back side, and we'll show a clip of that on how we mounted that to run through there. And then now we're going to go over to the window frame on the bottom where the brick is, where we start off the measurement. And we already got a pre-existing measurement there. We'll clip that one in to show you how we got that. And we'll start from the measurement of right here to here, which is 4 1/4. And Chris is going to place the pintle and show how we'll start that off. And then we'll follow through on how the next pintle will fall into place after that piece of hardware is mounted. All right, laying out the hardware on the back of the panel. This is a T-hinge. What we'll do is we'll take the bottom and top rail and we'll go on the inner lines, and we'll line up this part of the hinge with the inner line on both sides so it looks equal. And then there's a bend right here in the hardware. We'll line it up right to the edge, which gives a good line reference. And then we'll go through with screws down. And this is the back side hardware of the panel. So getting your lower initial measurement from the bottom of the window to where you're going to place the pintle, an easy way is getting your pintle already on the hinge that's mounted, slide it in, go to the bottom rail, and you're going to measure with this pushed in the bottom of the pintle right here, which lines up with 4 1/4. So that 4 1/4 you'll see over here when we go onto the window, we'll measure it from the brick up to put the pintle. All right, I'm going to take that 4 1/4 measurement we got for the pintle off of the shutter. We're going to take it bottom of the pintle to the 4 1/4 mark. Tape though. Go into these pre-drilled. Snug it up, make sure it's lined. Screw. And don't super tighten them. Impact's usually enough on the snugness. And right there, just make sure it's straight up and down line. Your 4 1/4 from the brick to the bottom, and your other one will fall into place. Okay, Chris has already finished mounting up the pintle on that measurement, the 4 1/4 from the brick to the bottom of the pintle. Now we're going to take the panel, and it'll show how the top pintle will kind of fall into place. And the top one will already be set because the bottom measurement's already pinned the lower pintle. We'll take this one right over. We'll follow our same mark we had as a lower, so panel stays straight.
As you can see, this brick is pretty hard. So what I like to do is, this is, I believe, a 5/32 drill bit, and then we graduate up to something bigger. Kind of difficult to tell, depending on the material you're going into, how big your hole needs to be. So sometimes we'll make it a little larger than it needs to be. And then we'll stick some bamboo, toothpicks, some skewers, plug the hole a little bit, and help that stay secure. But it looks like this one should be just fine like it is. On these style S-Dogs, there's a little cotter pin that keeps it attached. If you hold the S-Dog in and screw it in with the socket, it'll slice your finger as it spins, so you want to not do that. All right, I can tell there's quite a bit of resistance in the wall, so I'm going to waller out the hole a little bit more. You drive that in till it's basically flush with the shutter, And then we will put a screw right here so it'll stay in place. And that's your S-Dog.
All right, and one last thing, another question we get asked by a lot of homeowners is whether louver's up or louver's down. And this homeowner wanted them up. It's more traditional because the louver always would go on the second floor and the homeowner would always close the shutter. And when the louvers are facing down, the rainwater, etc., would wash off, versus if the louver was facing up, when the panel was closed, the rainwater would fall in, but when they're open, obviously the rainwater falls in on the outside when they're open. And that's just another question we always get asked, whether up or down. It's not a big deal. It's just more of aesthetic, or if you're actually going to open and close them. If you're going to close them, you'd want the louvers up when they're mounted out, and then when they're closed, it would be down. So just one random question we get asked all the time. All right, we got both panels mounted up on the hardware. Chris got the S-Dogs installed. This S-Dog, he left it open to where we can show. Now, usually you got the bigger side down on the S-Dog when you mount them, the smaller side up, so you have counterweight holding it. But we like to do a little tie back screw so nothing ever comes with the wind. But if you wanted to open them, you would make them even. You can show how you open and close them. This particular job was measured just for the aesthetics and the look of it on the hardware, so it looked functional. But if you ever wanted to actually open and close them, we'd probably mount them outside on the brick. That way we could actually close the panel on the inside and it would stay far enough away, because as in this one, it would show how it would bump. But so another measurement, maybe another job application, we'll do that one. And so from the pintle to the hardware on the back to the S-Dog, it's really not that bad to do a mount to a functional shutter. And then here on the mullion of the window, we line up our mid rails to kind of get it all flowing. But yeah, so it wasn't too bad. And if you have any questions, Shutter America, shutteramerica.com. Look at our pictures and other future videos of maybe what we'll be trying to put installs or conquer. Thank you.